Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good day as always. My name is Michael and thank you for joining me. So today I want to do a recap of what was going on for me in July. I want to talk about a few of the services that I use and give you some updates on those. I want to answer some comments that I received in the month of July. I also want to announce the July giveaway winner. And then lastly, I want to share one financial victory that I had this month. And so let's just go ahead and jump right into this stuff. Now, to start off with, give you some news about me and my personal life and some of the services I use. One thing that I've been talking about for a while is me needing a new computer, and I finally got one. I got a brand new MacBook Pro. This was absolutely something that I've been looking forward to for a while. I was waiting for the refreshes and the updates to come. I was also waiting for Apple's back to school promo, because don't get me wrong, this is an absolutely expensive computer, for me at least, right? I spent roughly about $1,700, which in my books is not cheap at all. But I managed to save a little bit because I waited for the back to school promo. It came with some Beats headphones. They sell for like $300, so I'm going to Craigslist those, try to get back as much as I can. I'm obviously going to sell my old computer, so I'm going to try and do everything that I can to recoup some of the money that I spent. There's no way I'll be able to do all of it, obviously, but this has been an absolute great thing. I now have better editing software, so hopefully better videos are coming your way. Hopefully I'll be able to do new things with the channel. So overall, I'm really excited. It was an expensive purchase, but I'm going to do everything that I can to get value out of that purchase. And considering I only buy a computer, let's say about every 8 years, I think I'm okay with this one. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is Wealthfront. I haven't talked about Wealthfront in a while, but I think this is actually a really good time to talk about Wealthfront, because I want to start talking about some of the results that I've seen in 2018 and compare that to what I've seen so far in 2016 and 17, because the results may surprise you, and if you guys are a Wealthfront user as well, I would love to know what your experience has been. But just to give you some history, I wrote down the numbers. In 2016, my return on investment was 14.81% across the year. 2017 was even better at 19.44% increase over the year. As of right now, the end of July, so over halfway through the year in 2018, I am up 2.44%. So nowhere near the level of performance. And that to me is not a knock on Wealthfront in any way, shape, or form. It's simply what the market is doing right now. 2018 has been a lot more volatile than the previous 2 years. Now, that doesn't really mean anything to me, because this stuff is normal. This stuff happens. You're going to have some great years, some not so great years, and some just mediocre years. You know, I can't really complain all that much. I'm still up, and 2.44% is way better than my typical savings or money market account, right? So a lot of people right now are feeling like, oh, should I get out? Should I cash out? Should I take out my dividends? And sure, you could do that. I personally am not going to. In fact, I'm going to do what I've always done, which is just keep depositing my flat dollar amount every single month. I'm not going to increase it. I'm not going to lower it. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and try to be the picture of consistency. In fact, I actually watched a really good video on Google Talks the other day. The author was, I think, J.L. Collins. He had wrote a book, or maybe just the segment is called The Simple Way to Wealth. And if you're at all interested in watching that, I'll have a link down below. I can't remember. I want to say it was maybe like a half-hour video, but all in all, I really enjoyed it. And he talks about, you know, you cannot predict the market one way or the other, right? And any expert that says they can predict it, they're lying to you, right? And sure, maybe they're right every now and then, but there's no one that can do that on a consistent basis. So why would you try and time the market and pull your money out at a certain time, or do the opposite and just dump a whole lot of money into the market because you think it's about to go up, right? So to me, really nothing changes. Yes, I'd much rather have, you know, 20% over 2%, but whatever. All I'm trying to do in investing is grow wealth over the long term. And I cannot expect that every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year is going to be a positive gain in the market, right? That's just not the way it works, right? Look at Facebook. You know, they had a terrible day. Over time, though, I'm sure they're going to be just fine. But either way, that's what's going on with Wealthfront. Like I said earlier, if you're a Wealthfront user yourself and maybe your results are actually different than mine, I would love to know, so put that in the comment section down below. Now, as to the last piece of news as far as services that I use, I do want to go back and talk about Ting, right? That is a cell phone plan that I currently switched to. I made a video about them a little while back, and I just want to give you some updates, right? With AT&T, me and my girlfriend's bill was somewhere around like $140, so split in two, that's about $70 per person. I could be off. It could be a little bit higher than that. It might be just a little bit lower, but either way, it was much more than I actually wanted to spend each month. And ever since switching to Ting, I've only been with them to the point where I've had to pay 2 months since I've rejoined them, but both months have been about $26, right? So the first month I paid $26.05. The most recent payment was $26.03. So that has been an absolute fantastic transition. And again, I talked about this in the video. If you are all feeling like you pay way too much for certain utilities, whether it be electric or cell phone or car insurance or whatever it may be, do everything you can to try and lower those payments, because honestly, those savings, they might even beat out how much you get on the market in a given month or year. So do everything you can to optimize those bills. And if you haven't watched the Ting video and you want to get away from your current cell phone provider, check that out. All right, now let's go ahead and answer some of the great questions and comments that I received in July. And question number 1 was, should you be trying to refinance your car if you're in the process of buying a house? And this comes from someone who I guess is in the process and going through this exact situation. And real quick, the answer is no. You should not be trying to refinance a car while you're doing anything mortgage related. Whether you're trying to refinance, whether you're trying to buy, probably get a home equity line of credit. Don't do anything major that involves new loans or applying for credit. Don't do any of that stuff while you're going through the mortgage process. So just put that on hold for right now. After you're done, once you've successfully closed on a house or refinanced on a house, right, then you can do it. But while you're actually going through the process, the lenders that are going to be approving you for a purchase or a refinance, they don't want to see any major changes. Even if it helps you out, just don't do anything during that time period. Now, the next question that I want to answer was, this gentleman had a question about, what is the process of closing on your car loan once you've been approved from the bank? And then maybe when you apply for a car loan originally, do you apply for the amount of the car, or do you add tax titles and license with that? How do you go about doing that? And so first off, if you are at the point where you've already been approved by a lender, you know the car that you want at the dealership, right? All you do is just go to the dealership and finish everything. You're going to sign their paperwork for the vehicle. They're going to get everything done as far as getting the vehicle registered in your name for the state that you live in. And they're also going to send over drafting instructions to your financial institution, so that bank or credit union or whatever is going to send the money to the dealership. You shouldn't have to do anything with the actual sending of money from the bank to the dealership at all. They're going to take care of that for you. So it's a really, really easy process. As to the second part of your question, I think this is actually pretty interesting. Should you apply for the dollar amount of the car you want to buy, or do you add TTNL into that loan application amount? This to me is really, really important, okay? First off, as far as your specific question, you would apply for the total amount that you're going to finance. So if that's, the price of the car plus TTNL, then that's what you would apply for. If you're putting $5,000 down, then it would just be $5,000 less than that total amount, right? So that's what you would apply for, everything that you plan on borrowing. But here's what I want to talk about specifically. When you're in the process of buying a car, start by going to the bank or the credit union, wherever you're going to be borrowing money from. Because if you go to a dealership and say, hey, I want that car, I like it a lot, it's $15,000, now you're going to be going to this credit union saying, hey, I need a $15,000 loan. Well, what if you would have gone to the bank the first time, started really looking at your finances and determining how much you can afford, right? If you say, hey, I want to pay this loan off in 36 months or 48 months, I can only borrow this much, right? That's a much better financial way of determining what car to get, right? In one, you're trying to make sure that you get a loan that supports this car you want to buy. On the other hand, if you find out that, hey, I can only borrow, let's say $11,000, now I need to go into this dealership and find a car that supports how much I can actually afford to spend, right? So I don't want to get too long-winded here. This might even be worthy of its own video, but start with the lender first. Determine how much you can actually spend. Look at how much money you're going to be paying in interest over the long run. Find out how much more expensive it is to finance a vehicle for 72 months as opposed to 36 months. Look at the numbers first and then find the right vehicle that fits that math. Now on to the last question and comment. I received something that said, what is the best first credit card to open? And I don't think there's actually a specific answer for this. I can only tell you what I did and what I think is a pretty good way of doing it. First off, I use credit cards for rewards and keeping a high credit score. That's it. I don't need it. I pay my credit card off in full every month. I don't rack up debts and I can't pay it off, right? It's just a tool for me. That's it. And if you're trying to use your first credit card to do those sorts of things, I would focus on the credit side of things first, like getting a high credit score, right? You obviously want to be approved for the credit card. So first off, start small, right? You don't need to ask for a big limit in the beginning. Start small, like $500. You're going to be much more likely to be approved for a $500 credit card as a first-time user than you would a $5,000 credit card. So start small. I would also say start with the credit union or the bank that you currently use. Yeah, I don't really like Bank of America or Wells Fargo. I'd much rather get a credit card with the credit union. All right, but at the same time, if you've got history with that institution and they're more than likely going to approve you, start there. Okay, so ask for a small dollar amount, start with a company that you've actually got history with, and then you may have to use a secured credit card, right? That means that you're going to put into your savings account and they're going to hold that money while you've got the secured credit card. So if you've asked for $500, they're going to keep $500 locked up in your savings, right? If you can afford to do that, you're pretty much always going to be approved for that because there's no real risk for the lender. They'll just take whatever dollar amount is secured, right? So to me, that is the best way of doing a first credit card application. Over time, you'll probably transition to a different credit card company, right? That's what I did. I actually don't use a credit card through my credit union anymore. I use Capital One Venture Card because I like the airline miles that I get through that. But I started with my credit union card. So again, to recap it, start small, start with the place you've got history with, and use it the right way, right? And by that I mean pay it off in full, spend less than 20% of the limit each month, just use it responsibly. Don't pay interest, don't pay debt, set yourself up for good financial discipline. So those are all the questions that I want to answer this month. Definitely put down any questions that you have that you think would be good questions for next month's recap video. But thank you so much for all the questions and comments that you guys give me. I really, really do appreciate it, and it helps the channel grow. Now, onto the fun part of the video. I do want to announce this month's giveaway winner. I appreciate everyone who left comments on my 10,000 subscriber video. I'm able to do a $100 giveaway this month, which I'm really, really excited about. And when I hit 20,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away $200. So anything that we can do to help get these numbers up, the faster we'll be able to give away money and the more money that we'll be able to give away. But regardless, this month's winner is Valeria Restrepo. Thank you very much for your comment, Valeria. Thank you for your supporting of the channel. Make sure to email me at commonsensemike@gmail.com so I can actually get you your prize money. I'll also respond to the comment that you put in there, so if that makes it any easier to get in touch, I'll absolutely do that. And guys, like I said earlier, I'm going to be doing more of these giveaways in the future. So as long as this channel keeps continuing to grow, we're able to help out more and more people, I'm happy to share the success of the channel with you guys. So thank you very much for the support. I do want to say here real quick that if you at all want to support the channel yourself, there's really two easy ways of doing it. One, if you really, really love this stuff and you're learning new things, and hell, maybe I helped you refinance a loan, you're able to save some money, you can use Patreon. I don't ask for anything more than $1 simply because even $1 to me says that you absolutely appreciate what I'm doing. So there's a link down to that below. Also, the other way of helping out the channel doesn't really cost you anything extra. It's just that if you happen to be buying anything on Amazon, if you go through my referral link, which is down below in the description section, Amazon does give me a small commission of whatever you happen to buy. And that supports the channel without you really having to spend anything extra. So again, if you're buying anything on Amazon and you use the link, it helps out the channel in a very, very small way. But every little bit helps, so thank you for doing that. Now, as far as the last thing I want to talk about, pretty much just end the video on a high note, I want to talk about one financial win that I had this month, right? And so, this is something that I'm going to start talking about every single month. It may be small, it may be cheesy, but I think all of us need to have good wins every now and then, and that's what I want to talk about today, what win I had recently. Now, for those of you that don't know, our backyard right now is something that I've actually been working on for quite a while. It was xeriscape, the weeds were coming through, just the people that we bought the house from put in a design that I don't necessarily think is the most efficient or optimal for the backyard, and so I'm trying to fix things where I can. We have a lot of sun in Texas and it's drying things out. And long story short, I wanted to get some wood chips to kind of help cover up the soil, kind of help promote biodiversity in the soil. This is all just good things for your backyard and keeping the health of your lawn up. And so what I've been doing is anytime I see a tree service company out doing branch maintenance, or maybe there was a fallen tree and they happen to be chipping it up on site. Like if you've ever been driving or walking through your neighborhood and you see these massive industrial sized chippers, right? They're putting these giant tree logs in there, tree branches in there and it chips it up into mulch. And normally they have to go pay a fee to go dump that somewhere, or maybe they're selling it to like a lawn service company and they're going to dye it and turn it into more like fancy mulch, right? Well, I will talk to them and say, hey guys, do you have to pay a fee to dump that anywhere? And most of the time they say yes. And so what I said was, look, I live, however far away, 5 minutes away. If you guys go dump that over there, I'll take it off your hands so you don't have to pay that fee. And actually, for the very first time, someone was able to do that for me. They actually dropped off about 5 yards worth of wood chips on my driveway, and I moved those out. I spread it over the lawn, and so my backyard is looking great right now. And so to me, it's just a really cool way of having like a synergistic relationship with everything that's going on around us. Like in this case, I was using a nearby resource. I got it for free. I helped them save money. They helped me promote a better and healthier lawn. It was just all around a good thing. I actually did the math, and if you look up how much mulch costs at a local landscaper, right, it's about, what, $25 a yard. I got 5 of them, so that's about $125. Plus they charge about an $80 delivery fee, so that's another $80. So I got about $200 of value for free. I made sure to tip the guys to say that I really, really appreciate them doing that. But either way, that is my one financial victory for this month. And I would love to know what your victory is. So make sure to put that in the comment section. But overall, thank you very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. You guys know what to do. But take care. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, I know I just said this stuff, but let me say it again. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate all the support that you guys give me. And to support you, here's 2 more videos that I've made in the past in case you haven't seen them. Don't forget to share these with your friends and family so we can help all the people achieve their financial goals. Likewise, if there's anything that you would want to see made that you haven't seen thus far, definitely don't hesitate to let me know. But thanks again, take care, and have a good day.